Witness number 1. The Earl of Southampton, Venus and Adonis and the Rape of Lucrece, the first two works to carry the pseudonym William Shakespeare. The Witness video series presents over 100 contemporary witnesses to Francis Bacon's authorship of the Shakespeare poems and plays. The Stratfordian claim that William Shakespeare of Stratford was the writer and that none of his contemporaries ever doubted this is a demonstrable falsehood. In the Oxford Francis Bacon Early Writings, which covers the period of the early Shakespeare poems and plays, its editors Stewart and Knight say about Bacon's early writings: these writings can be classified into 4 categories. First, texts that Bacon wrote but not for public consumption. Second, texts Bacon wrote to be circulated with his name. Third, texts Bacon intended to circulate anonymously. And fourth, texts that were intended to circulate under another's name. Orthodox editors and biographers of Francis Bacon and the biographers of Henry Wriothesley, Earl of Southampton, have very carefully avoided placing them together, even though Bacon and Southampton had a very close and complex relationship with each other from at least the late 1580s right through to Southampton's death in 1624. Southampton's name will forever be inextricably linked with Shakespeare due to 2 very intimate dedications that reveal a far closer relationship than a writer to his patron. In 1593, the nom de plume William Shakespeare appeared for the first time on a printed work in the poem Venus and Adonis, not on the title page, but underneath an intimate dedication to Henry Wriothesley, 3rd Earl of Southampton. This was followed in 1594 by the second Shakespeare poem, The Rape of Lucrece, with, as before, the nom de plume William Shakespeare appearing below an even more intimate dedication to the Earl of Southampton. Before leaving university, Southampton was admitted to Gray's Inn on the 29th of February 1588, where Francis Bacon, its rising star, resided in the Bacon family chambers built by his father, Lord Keeper Sir Nicholas Bacon. Francis entered Gray's Inn in 1579 and soon became its de facto master of the revels, organising the dramatic entertainments, masques and plays much loved by Southampton, who it was said attended the London theatres on an almost daily basis. On the evening before the Earl became a member of Gray's Inn, he most likely witnessed the important play, The Misfortunes of Arthur, performed by Gray's Inn members before Queen Elizabeth and her noblemen at Greenwich Palace on the 28th of February 1588. This first work to carry the name Francis Bacon in print has been overlooked and suppressed for more than 400 years because of its very clear and demonstrable links to Bacon's concealed authorship of the Shakespeare works. The little-known and little-read play immediately predates the recognised Shakespearean era, which on close examination confirms the same poet and dramatist who wrote The Misfortunes of Arthur also wrote the Shakespeare poems and plays. Its central themes and language find expression and are clearly echoed in a significant number of his early Shakespeare plays, including Henry VI and Richard III, and from the same early period, Titus Andronicus, King John, Richard II, and the Comedy of Errors. During his stay at Gray's Inn, the strikingly beautiful Southampton formed a close and intimate relationship with Bacon. From the early 1590s, Southampton was spending more time at court and began moving in the Bacon-Essex circle, located in and around Essex House. It was here that Francis and Anthony Bacon were handling all the domestic and foreign intelligence, passing through the de facto Foreign Office of the English Secret Service. During these years, Southampton's secret relationship with Bacon continued, and in 1593 the Earl received the first of 2 intimate dedications written under Bacon's nom de plume, William Shakespeare. 1593, Venus and Adonis dedication. First appearance of the name William Shakespeare in print, the first heir of his invention. Right Honourable, I know not how I shall offend in dedicating my unpolished lines to your lordship. I account myself highly praised, and vow to take advantage of all idle hours till I have honoured you with some graver labour. (1594) The Rape of Lucrece dedication. Second appearance of the name William Shakespeare in print. The love I dedicate to your lordship is without end. What I have done is yours, what I have to do is yours, being part of all I have, devoted yours. The close relationship between Bacon and Southampton continues through the 1590s, during which time their lives became further entwined with that of Robert Devereux, 2nd Earl of Essex. The events leading up to the ill-fated Essex Rebellion adversely affected the dynamic between them. Essex was executed for treason. However, Southampton, most probably following the intervention by Bacon with Elizabeth, was spared execution. On the accession of James I, the Earl was released from prison. Buried away in Spedding's 7-volume Letters and Life of Francis Bacon is a virtually unknown letter from Bacon to Southampton, where he pointedly makes a direct reference to their previously close relationship. This great change hath wrought in me no other change towards your lordship than this, that I may safely be now that which I was truly before. While Southampton and Bacon's relationship was a complex one, and in later days Southampton turned against his former friend, their early days together inspired the great Shakespeare love poems, and Southampton became immortalised in their dedications. Not only was Southampton obviously privy to the true identity of the poet Shakespeare, we shall see that several other contemporaries also knew Francis Bacon was the concealed author of Venus and Adonis and the Rape of Lucrece.